I'm Amy the Bunny Lady, and this is my partner Elusive, Ellie for short. High five! Good job! And today we're going to talk about some household hazards that you can make sure that your rabbit stays safe in your home. If you are new to our channel, welcome. We give tips and tricks for how to make sure you have a happy and healthy bunny in your home. So if that's the kind of thing you're interested in, go ahead and hit that subscription button and the notification bell next to it so you never miss any of our upcoming videos. And don't forget to check out my merch at my store. I'll leave a link for you in the description below. I have a whole lot of different funny bunny t-shirt designs. You can get the t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, bags, whatever. So definitely check that out if you like cute bunny stuff. Alright, I'll start with the most obvious. So, wires are definitely something that can be a significant hazard to pet rabbits. So rabbits like to chew on long, skinny things that look like twigs. So unfortunately that means that rabbits can chew on wires a lot if you're not careful. Now this means that you may end up going through a bunch of different phone chargers because your rabbit keeps snipping through the wire, but it can also be a pretty major danger to your rabbit because if they bite into a live wire, then there's the potential that they can be electrocuted. And I don't think I have to tell you that'd be bad if a little bunny gets electrocuted. So you really do want to be careful to make sure your rabbit cannot bite your wires. Every wire that you can, you want to get completely out of your rabbit's reach. Get them up on top of surfaces, behind bookshelves, get them in a different room completely, block them off with fencing. Any wires that have to be in your rabbit's area so they can reach it, you want to make sure that you cover them. So you can get this split loom wire tubing that you can use. It's a plastic cover for your wires, so you can use that and make it's both less likely that your rabbit will chew on it because it's not as thin. Rabbits will often only go for the thinner wires, they don't really go for thicker ones. And it covers them so that if they chew into it, they'll just get the plastic. Another thing that you really want to think about is chemical all-purpose cleaners. So most chemical sprays that you would use to clean things up. The problem is most of these are not pet safe. So if your rabbit likes to lick things and then is in an area that you just cleaned with one of the cleaners, they may ingest a bunch of chemicals that can be toxic for them. So you do want to make sure that you're careful about the types of cleaners that you use around your rabbit. You can get pet safe cleaners. There's a couple different brands out there, but you can also make your own pet safe cleaner using vinegar and water. So you just add equal amounts of vinegar and water. I will also add a couple drops of some kind of scent that I like. Citrus scents are usually okay around rabbits. So do that, shake it up, and then you can use that as an all-purpose cleaner. I found that the vinegar cleaner is actually surprisingly good at just cleaning up any kind of urine stains. But for more heavy-duty stuff, you may want to get a pet safe cleaner from the store, depending on what you want to clean. If you do use a chemical cleaner, then as long as you're keeping your rabbit away from that area that you cleaned for a couple hours so that they can't lick it, then it should be okay. You just want to avoid letting them lick up the fresh chemicals because that can be really bad for their digestion. Another household hazard that you might not think of is just slippery flooring. Rabbits don't have pads at the bottom of their feet, so they don't really get much traction on any kind of like linoleum or hardwood floors. It's a little bit more difficult for them to walk. Now, most of the time your rabbit will be able to figure it out and it's not a serious problem. So if you have little areas where there's hardwood floor, that's okay. But you don't want to have large areas that your rabbit lives on with hardwood floor because if your rabbit gets scared and then suddenly tries to run in one direction and then slips, they can actually end up kicking out their back and end up being paralyzed. So you do want to make sure that you don't have large areas of slippery flooring where your rabbit would potentially slip and injure themselves. This is especially important for things like stairs. Rabbits can slip going up and down the stairs, so if your rabbit's going to have access to any kind of steps, then you do want to make sure that they have some kind of carpet or traction rug, something on them to keep your rabbit from slipping, because that could be a serious danger. Plastic bags are another thing that you want to keep away from rabbits for the same reason that you would want to keep plastic bags away from small children or something like that, there's the potential that they can suffocate if they get trapped inside the bag or something like that. So you do want to keep them away from any kind of thin plastic because they might try to chew on it and choke on it. So plastic bags, something you might find anywhere in a house, you want to make sure that you keep them up and away from your rabbit so that they can't chew on it and they just can't like go inside it and check it out, because that can end up leading to a dangerous situation. You also really want to think about any kind of appliances that you have. Anything like a space heater or a fan, a standing fan, can end up being dangerous for rabbits. They might stick their nose into a fan, or they might rub up against a heater and then get burned, something like that. But so something like that you definitely want to keep away from your rabbit so that they can't hurt themselves. But you also want to think about any kind of appliance or anything in your room that your rabbit might be able to knock over. This could even include decorations and things like candles. Anything that your rabbit might be able to knock over and injure themselves on, or cause injury to the rest of the house. Anything like that you want to be very careful of putting around your rabbit, because they can be little troublemakers. They can knock things over. They can be super curious to check out anything new, and you want to make sure that it's not something that can potentially hurt them. You also want to keep houseplants away from your rabbit. Now, there are obviously some plants that rabbits can eat. In fact, rabbits can eat a lot of different types of plants because they are herbivores, and their digestion was literally made for digesting high fiber foods like plants. However, there are still some that are toxic to rabbits. For example, ivy, a lot of, I think, mum plants. There's a lot of different types of plants that you really don't want your rabbit eating because they're at least mildly toxic. But even plants that your rabbit can eat, like if you have a herb plants, like if you have basil, then I mean, you don't want your rabbit getting to it because they will eat it and they will eat the whole thing, and you will have no plant left. So regardless, you do want to keep your houseplants away from your rabbit because either they'll be a danger to your rabbit or your rabbit's going to be a danger to the plant. So something definitely to keep up on surfaces or in rooms that are totally separate from where your rabbit lives. And then, of course, you want to make sure that you keep any kind of human foods away from your rabbit. This includes any kind of cereals like Cheerios. They are not really digestible by rabbits. They're not good. They don't have any like nutritional value, and they will slow down your rabbit's digestion and are just generally not good for them. But also any other kind of human foods, unless we're talking about like the cuttings from vegetables that you use. Like if you give them the carrot tops, that's fine. If you give them like the leaves from your broccoli or celery, that's totally fine to give to your rabbit. But any kind of cooked human food, any kind of processed human food, any kind of sugary human food, you want to keep that totally away from your rabbit because that can be disastrous for their digestive system. This includes things like milk and yogurt. They're also not good for rabbits. So if you want to know about the basics of rabbit care, or maybe you already know the basics and you just want to brush up on everything, then I do recommend checking out my mailing list. When you first sign up, I will send you a PDF that has everything that you need to know, from like how much space they need, the diet that's great for them, how to litter train them, everything like that. There'll even be lists of safe fruits and vegetables for your rabbit to give. So you can check that out. I'll put a link for you in the description below. And then you'll also get my bi-monthly newsletter that gives you all of the tips and tricks that I've learned through the years of living with rabbits and volunteering with them at animal shelters. So thank you so much for watching, and I do hope that we will see you next time.